Hey, I'm the Preacher's Enthusiast, and this is the Untitled Unfinished podcast. Today, our special guest, Kanashi, also known as Taylor. Hi, Taylor.
Hi.
Uh,
What's up?
Taylor is a SoundCloud musician, I would say. Is that
Yeah, it's
accurate?
pretty.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Are you defined to a genre yet, or no?
No, my genre is I don't know. That's my genre.
Experimental.
Yeah, experimental is pretty good. That's a good way to put it.
I've known Taylor for a few years now. Good friend of mine. We have a lot of stuff in common. We do a lot of activities. And thought I'd get him on this little show and have a little interview. Talk about Uzi Vert's new albums, mostly Eternal Atake, because that's all we listen to, really.
Yeah,
And yeah, just a nice conversation during these trying times, as people would call it.
these trying times.
People, things are going crazy, man.
It's probably a little more crazy than. I mean, it's probably less crazy than it seems, but yeah.
I mean, I was at fights today, and
People fighting over toilet paper.
yeah, I mean, no, some fights. I know Spirit Airlines isn't really the best, but their flights round trip are $40 almost anywhere now.
I saw some like a lot of places, or a lot of airlines. It was like $50 for me to fly home, dude.
Yeah,
Like not just Spirit, like other airlines. I could fly to New Orleans for like $67.
may not be the best flight, but it'll get you there.
It'll get you there, dude. Whatever.
Now coming back, maybe a little bit different, but
Come back with some Corona.
it's something. Uh, so I guess for this interview portion, since I already know you well enough, but I think listeners don't really know Kanashi too well. You know,
True.
I know
Yeah.
Taylor, they don't know Kanashi.
Yeah, right.
So you've been doing this for like a few months now.
Yeah, like 4 months or so, give or take.
But you've been playing instruments longer, obviously.
Yeah, I've played guitar and piano and drums and all kinds of random little instruments since I was like 8 years old.
Yeah, when I first met you, we used to mess with that around with your piano.
Yeah,
The
that's true.
apartment. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I guess if you grew up with music, like playing, like you said, what made you want to make your own?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to explain really because my dad used to like play guitar when I was young, and I don't know, I liked listening to him play,
Yeah.
and I ended up just like picking a guitar and like because I wanted to be like him or whatever. So I like learned to play, and then I started listening to bands like Taking Back Sunday and My Chemical Romance and Green Day and stuff, and I was like, I can do that. So I just kind of like went online and learned the chords for a lot of like Green Day songs and shit like that. And I don't know, one day I just started playing songs and singing, and my dad was like, "What the heck?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know, dude. I just learned how to do all this."
That was your
And
that was your reaction. What the
Yeah.
heck? I don't know, dude.
yeah, that's what I know. That's what I've always, you know me. I'm like, I don't know. I just felt like doing it, so I did it.
Yeah.
It's kind of what how I live my life. If I feel like it, I just do it.
Now those bands you just mentioned
Yeah.
are nothing compared to what you do now in terms of sound, I would say.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, if you want to put anything, I mean, they're all considered emo, or at least they were at some point.
But
So,
you're not like, you know, stereotypical emo music.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's
It's like the new wave. It's like a new wave of emo.
Yeah, and that's what you tap into. From what
Yeah.
from what I can tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I mean, what would your okay? Those are your influences growing up,
Yeah.
and that kind of shaped your taste and your interest.
Sort of, yeah. Yeah.
What would you consider to be your current influence? I know some of them already, but like who
Yeah.
really defines Kanashi's music right now?
I mean, right now it's probably a lot of more unknown people that really define my music. Probably Probably my biggest influence right now is probably Ninetales, or now he's known as Sewer Person.
Right.
But I like, I don't know. Like, I started off like I got into this whole genre when I first heard like I heard a Little Peep song. I can't remember which one it was. It might have been Star Shopping,
Yeah.
and I thought it was like the most amazing song I ever heard. And then I went on Spotify and I was like listening to a bunch of Little Peep stuff, and then I just started getting all these other artists in my recommended, because I guess at one time he was like small and unknown too. Which I guess before he died, honestly, up until he died. After he died, he got
Yeah.
extremely.
I got into him before he died, but
Yes,
he was really big on SoundCloud.
yeah, he was huge on SoundCloud.
And
Yeah,
I didn't even know. I mean, I just told you earlier before we started recording, I haven't used SoundCloud since like 2015.
yeah,
So like, I
right.
kind of switched to Spotify. You know,
Mhm.
it's so much easier to use Spotify and so much more
Yeah, right,
accessible.
right. So yeah, I a whole bunch of people like Lil Lotus got recommended. I got really into him, and then from Lil Lotus, I found Shinigami, which Shinigami influences a lot of. I don't know if you noticed, like there's a lot of like electronic-y vibe kind of stuff going on in my music.
Yeah.
And he influenced that a lot. And then from then I heard like Ninetales and Garden, and all these artists were actually like 2 years ago when I found all these artists, they were like really small. Like Shinigami, especially, like he only had like 80,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and like this last month he peaked at like 1.2 million.
Yeah.
So he really, like, a lot of these people are really getting big. Like Garden's on tour, like a huge tour.
Oh, maybe not for long, but
Huh?
maybe not for much longer.
Yeah. I think some of his dates got canceled. Yeah.
Yeah, everything's being canceled tour wise.
Yeah. He was in DC like a week ago.
Oh, really?
I wish I would have. If I had known, I would have went.
I'm surprised you didn't go.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, I'm just going through a lot right now, so I didn't really.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, that's my main influences right now. I mean, Little Peep, obviously, and like when I first got into this, like I was pretty much just freaking emulating him. But I mean, I've kind of grown it. Yeah, right. Yeah, I just need a couple face tats.
There you go.
But yeah, that's my main influences. So, but it's kind of weird. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that it's kind of interesting. Just you've never really left the emo sound.
Yeah,
Because
right.
you know, like the bands you mentioned earlier,
Right.
are all mostly, I guess, emo. You can classify it as some form of emo. And
Yeah.
now all the people you just mentioned are related to emo or are emo music.
Yeah, I mean, but if you said that to them, they'd probably be like, I'm not you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I get that.
it's
It's
weird.
kind of just like associated. I guess you can say they're associated.
Yeah,
with
it
emo
is.
music.
Yeah, it
And
is.
a lot of your music, I don't know. I just think it's actually interesting. You never really left that evolution of that genre.
I mean, it's just what I grew up with, I guess, man. Like, I don't know.
I mean,
when
I could be wrong, but like when we used to hang out a few years ago, you played Ronnie Radke a lot.
yeah,
Right?
I mean, I like it. I liked Escape the Fate a lot, and then when he moved to make Falling in Reverse, I liked that a lot. I mean, Ronnie Radke's a piece of shit, but I love their music.
I remember I didn't even really know of it. I'd have heard of his name, but I didn't listen to
Yeah.
him until I was with you. You know,
Yeah,
it
I
was
mean,
pretty
he's a
sure in
really
your car.
talented dude. He's a talented dude, but I mean, there's probably a little influence from that. I mean, I take stuff from everywhere, man. Like sometimes I'll be like making a beat or something, and I'll just like it'll kind of remind me of like Owl City or something. Like I love all types of music except for like country, basically.
I have that same viewpoint.
Like some country's good, like old stuff like Johnny Cash or like I don't like some of that stuff has value.
Yeah.
But like new country is just like it's glorified pop with like people talking about beer and trucks.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest. I don't want to go off on a tangent or anything, but like that's probably my biggest problem with country music. People say, "Oh, you like I like old country," but like modern country is just it's not country anymore.
It's just pop with a little bit of twang, dude. That's all it
Yeah,
is.
it's like flavored pop.
Yeah, yeah, that's all it is. I mean, you could probably say the same about a lot of this new wave emo stuff. It's kind of just emo flavored pop, really.
Yeah.
Like on it, like for like I don't know, for all intents and purposes, it really is. But
Uh,
I mean, but it speaks to me more. Like I like designer clothes and money and women, so you know what I mean. Like it makes sense for me to like that, I guess. So
But couldn't you say that that's kind of how rap music was, or is
yeah,
that same
yeah.
ideology?
Sort of. But see, I rap started off more of as like, wouldn't you say like as more of like a way for like black people to express.
Oh yeah, music,
You know,
hip
maybe that's
hop.
how they express things back in the
Yeah,
day,
hip hop
and
has
then
always been a form of expression, and
yeah,
then it. I would say, I mean, I'm not an expert on this, but I would say it kind of split, like
right, yeah,
around 2000s, because you
right,
had the death of Biggie and Tupac, who were
right,
the giants at the
yeah,
time.
true,
Like they were the East Coast West Coast icons, and
yeah,
then they passed away, and
true,
then like their music was the topics they talked about were very similar.
right, yeah,
Both storytellers in their own way,
yeah,
and then you have kind of this uprising of through the past 20 years of how do you even describe this? It's like you're talking about designer clothes and like
yeah,
stuff
right,
like possessional songs.
yeah, right,
Like Tupac wasn't like got that Gucci shirt. Like
yeah,
it was more
yeah.
like I'm on the streets, you know,
It's kind
making
of like the man got me down kind of shit like that. Like,
yeah.
I gotta, yeah, I know what you mean.
And
Yeah.
then once that caught on to the radio and the pop side, it's more like to me, like if you listen to any song by the Migos, almost from
Yeah.
the beginning, they mention money, women, possessions. That's just
Right. Yeah.
how it evolved. But I mean, you're talking about. I mean, you have some of the same preferences,
Yeah.
but you're a whole different genre. You
Yeah,
know?
for sure. I mean, you could go. Some of my songs you could probably just classify as rap or hip hop slash. Like a few of them you could.
Yeah, I think that's why it's cool that you're not, bound to a genre.
Yeah, I mean that's cool, but I think from like a marketing standpoint, I think it's probably bad. Like for personally, I like that about me. I like that I can kind of just make whatever genre I want.
Yeah,
But I think that people like consistency, like subconsciously. I think like on a subconscious level, you want to hear the same things from the person that's making that music. Like I don't know how to explain. Like that's part of the reason why Ninetales stopped. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
his fan base got really upset at him because he was making more upbeat songs that weren't as depressing, but they relied on him for like their sad song Fix,
but
and it was I don't know.
that's his evolution. Wouldn't you consider
Yeah,
that?
yeah, no,
Like
yeah, yeah, for sure.
nobody
Yeah,
wants to be
but
sad forever.
no, for sure. I mean, I agree. Like, I totally understand why he did that, but it's just goes along with me saying like people like consistency. Like, it's
Yeah,
fine to evolve and stuff like that, but when you literally have me where like I make like a punk pop EP and then the next song I make is literally like an R&B hip hop song. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of
yeah.
like I don't know. It's cool, but nah, I don't know. It's weird.
I've
That's
noticed
just
that trend in a lot of other forms of entertainment.
hmm
Uh, I don't know names, but some directors in the film industry will direct stuff or write stuff they don't want to really do. But at the end of the day,
right,
it's a paycheck and it's a way to put your name out there.
right, yeah,
And then they'll move on to something that they really want, like a passion project.
right.
Like something that may not make a lot of money, may not have
That's
the
true. You're
studio
right,
flair, but it's what they want to make.
right.
I had some examples, but I don't remember them right at the top of my head. But it's the same thing in music too. Like, I mean, you could say Miley Cyrus might be one of them, where
Yeah, I could see that. I can see what you're saying.
she was like, I'm Hannah Montana, this is my Hannah
Yeah.
Montana music,
All
and
right.
then as soon as that stopped, and she had her own money, she could make her own decisions and all that, and not have to rely
Right.
on. Cause she was pretty young when she started doing that, because of her
Right.
TV show and all that. And then she's like, I'm Miley Cyrus now, and this is my music, and you may not like it, but this is who I am. And
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you could say she might have been preying on a genre that like hip hop, because she did some like hip hopish songs. She's kind of people say she's a culture vulture to some degree. I could
Right. Yeah.
I could see it.
I can see that.
Like 23, that song to you with Mike Will.
Mm-hmm.
That's she's never done anything like that before that I remember.
Right.
And
Well, I think a lot of it too is that I think a lot of these artists, um, they have people that are basically just making the entire song for them.
yeah. And you just
And
put your like say this, and we'll make it for you.
yeah, they're like, hey, sing this like this, sing this right here like this, and then sing this right here like this, and then we'll edit it, and then it sounds great, and blah blah blah. So, I mean, like, it's kind of like the thing. I don't want to like misquote here. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that Lil Aaron wrote. You know how Selena Gomez had that new album that was kind of like controversial. Like, it was, some people liked it, some people hated it.
I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, I can't remember the name of it, but he wrote one of the tracks on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like one of the better hits from the album. And like, I don't know, it just goes to me, it shows that like some of these big artists, like, they're not the mastermind behind their own stuff. And don't get me wrong, if I had like a team of people that could be like, hey, I wrote this song, sing it with your style, I would do that. Like,
That makes
that's
it
so
easier
easy
for you. Like,
yeah, it's so easy. Like, and that's fine. Like, some people will be like, oh, well, you're not being artistically creative. I was like, well, yeah, but this is going to get my foot in the door for me to like make a name for myself and like make hits, so people will listen to the things that I make that are my passion.
it's kind of what to trade. Like,
Yeah,
I'll
it's
trade
like a trade-off.
my not my personality, but I'll trade my lyrics for, or I'll have somebody else do something for me, so I can get
Right.
better at being like well known.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, it's a trade though. Like, parts of that may suffer, parts of that may prosper.
Right.
But people will be like fans will be like, oh man, this guy's a sellout. He's not. This is the
Yeah.
Kanashi we liked on SoundCloud in 2019.
Yeah. We liked all his poorly mixed first songs that came out.
Yeah, we want his rented beats.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Yeah.
What's this produce like? What's this top tier producer stuff?
Yeah. This doesn't have produced Splash Gang in the front of it. What the heck?
These thumbnails are really good. We don't want those. We want basic thumbnails with anime girls.
Exactly. I mean, and to an extent, I can see why people feel that way. Like, I mean, if I was signed Kanashi, my music would probably be pretty different.
Oh, I
'Cause it
mean,
would-
definitely. That would change everything.
Yeah,
More money in your pocket to spend on
Yeah.
stuff.
more money, and then like professional mixing. Like, even if you're extraordinarily good at mixing, like at home, like on your personal setup, you're never gonna get that same sound that you would get in a recording studio.
Yeah.
Just because like there's nothing to I don't know, it's hard to explain, but you can get certain sounds depending on your location and where you're at, and I don't know.
I mean, let me ask you this. I don't know if we ever discussed this in our own
Mhm.
conversations, but would you use a studio, like a professional studio, like if you could, like let's say
I mean,
right
you
now?
can. I've thought about just renting one out for like a week and just going in and making stuff, because it's not super expensive.
Yeah. I never
But you
seen the
just got to
prices
go
of it,
in.
but
You have to go in with a plan. Like you basically just rent it for a week, and like you can just use it as much as you want. And then like I think a lot of people just go and sleep there for like a week and make shit.
I mean, no, you'll
But
get your
I mean,
money's
there's
worth.
yeah, for sure, yeah. But you would just have to have like a whole plan of what you want to get done and stuff like that.
So you've
But
released one EP so far?
yeah, I mean, a mini EP. It's hardly even an
Two
EP.
songs, right?
Yeah.
And that's your. Is it your only official like release
Um.
besides just singles?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even call it an official release because these aren't even on Spotify. They're just on SoundCloud.
So I guess it's your first somewhat project.
It's my first project where there's like two songs that were basically like kind of the same genre
And that's
that I
the
wanted to
pop punk
do.
one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess what I'm curious about is one, let's say you have a studio right now, like this week. You have the whole studio.
Okay. Right.
Would you have a genre in mind for let's say you have a time for a whole album or let's say
Yeah.
8 songs or more.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do a like a certain genre, or would you just be experimental as possible with these 8 songs?
It's kind of tough. I would probably want to stick with like a genre, and I'm sort of wanting to go into like a ambient R&B kind of thing. Like trying to think of like a more mainstream artist you might know. Like almost like Drake, I guess.
Okay.
Kind of like think like Marvin's Room.
Okay.
That kind of genre. Like I would want to make a lot of stuff like that. Like kind of just like
It's Marvin's Room. I would say is like depression rap, a type of thing.
sort of, yeah. It's like depression rap
in my
slash
feels music.
yeah. Like I mean, all my music is in my feels music. I mean, let's be real. That's what I make music for. Like I don't listen to music to listen to music. I listen to it because it's what makes me feel things. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like I listen to sad music. Yeah, it's an outlet. I listen to sad music when I'm sad, and somehow it makes me feel better. So
It's a
I
form
don't know.
of expression.
Yeah, I mean that's what I like stress myself, and I don't know. A lot of my stuff in my head happens to be sad, so that's what comes out.
So you would have like a whole in my feels Marvin's Room album if you had a week in a studio.
Yeah, probably. And like I have a sound in mind, but it's kind of hard to explain because it's like there's a few underground artists I listen to that kind of have like perfected like this. Like you could call it emo, but it's not really. It's more like you remember that song "Fuckboy" by Breakins I showed you?
I think so, yeah.
Sort of like that, like kind of like more singing forward, like actual singing with like falsettos and like vibrato and shit, like actual singing, and then it would be kind of like punchy and powerful, but like with breakdowns that are kind of like R&B, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sort of like that kind of thing.
Because one of the reasons why I asked this is because you're familiar with Lil Nas X, right?
Yes, yeah.
I mean, everyone is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He got big off Old Town Road.
Right.
And then he released an EP, and almost every song is different. Like, it's not one genre.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He has, like, Closure is like a... It's kind of original. Like, it's not like...
Right.
I don't know. You've heard Panini, too, right?
Yeah.
Panini is not like Old Town Road at all.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think... So, my personal take on that is that I feel like Old Town Road was kind of a joke that, like, happened to just people really like it
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
But like a meme song.
Yeah, it was like a meme song. Like I could be wrong, but I think to me that's what he was going for, like a meme song, and then it just took off, and he kind of became known for just like doing different stuff. So he has the ability to just go in and make a whole album of different stuff.
That's why he's one of my like most anticipated people or musicians. It's like I want to see what he's gonna do for it now. Like his EP, everything was different.
Right.
I
Yeah.
wonder what like a full album could be. Is it gonna be like a themed
Yeah.
album? Is it gonna be like a conceptual album? Like what is he even gonna
Right.
do? Because
Yeah. Who knows?
he has no defined style. He
Well.
has what he's known for, but everything else, nothing compares to that. Like there's nothing
Yeah.
similar.
Well. So I don't know what he's gonna do personally, but I think that we're gonna start seeing a lot of. So right now, I think the emotional kind of thing is taking over the radio. Like just now, like to me, from what I've seen over the past few years, it seems like the underground kind of directly influences what becomes popular over time, like over a long time.
Yeah,
Because you saw with like the Little Peep thing, like him and then like all these other artists, they kind of led up to like Juice World becoming popular. And then what's the other? I don't even know this dude's name. What's the other popular emo rapper dude? Lil something, Lil Xan.
oh yeah.
He's so I can't. I'm not a fan at all. Yeah, I'm not a fan at all. Like he's terrible, but like it kind of opened the gates for those guys. And then now you're seeing like other people get signed, like Gucci High Waters and Smart Death and what's the other dude? Lil Extra, which I don't even. Some of these guys, I think it's all about who you know, really.
Yeah.
Like, because Lil Extra, I could be wrong. Like, don't quote me on this, people. Like, don't roast me. I think Lil Extra was a part of like Lil Peep's posse and all that. I could be wrong,
I've never
but
heard of him.
I feel like he knew them. He's big on SoundCloud. Like, he's got a few really big songs.
I mean,
But
I don't know. This might be wrong, but whenever you talked about underground music a lot in our own conversations,
yeah,
and I always think it's kind of like a metaphorical pit of like people, like or like
right.
a cave. Like I don't know if you've ever seen a movie like this, but like imagine people like in a cave and they're stuck, and then like
Yeah,
someone like in Batman in
you've been picked. You've been chosen.
yeah, like
Yeah,
this,
I feel
like the
yeah.
Dark Knight Rises, and he
It
climbs
sort of
out of
is
that
like
pit,
that.
and then he's like, "I'm here, like I've been
It
chosen for this purpose."
I mean, it's sort of like that, dude. I mean, if you look at like, well, it's kind of like a bunch of. I think of it like there's like a bunch of pits, and then there's like certain groups of people in those pits. So like, you have like one like more recently is Savage Gas. He blew it from TikTok with the whole Pumpkin Scream in the Dead of Night song.
Yeah,
That was like a meme. He blew like he literally was the like I like his music a lot, but if you compare him to like Shinigami or 93 Feet of Smoke or Fat C or any of those guys, he's like the weakest link. But because he had that one song that blew up, like that has like 22 million plays now, like he's like literally just like rich and famous and like all this all because of one song. And then it also brings up the guys that he surrounds himself with. You know what I mean?
yeah. This is
So like
friends.
Shinigami's on the come up now, and 93 Feet of Smoke is on the come up, all because they have like they were both in that song with him.
It's all
You know
about
what I mean?
mutuals.
Yeah, so it's all about like mutuals and who you know and making connections and all that kind of stuff.
And it's funny because it's not even his. I don't think if TikTok wasn't around or wasn't as prominent as it is, and that song didn't come out at the right time,
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think he'd be around right now that big.
personally, I love that song. I loved it before TikTok. I didn't. I don't even have a TikTok. Like, I love that song. And then I just saw that somebody was like kids were making TikToks with it, like the whole like e-boy thing or whatever. They're like making weird TikToks with it, and
Yeah,
like he just blew up.
and
Like
it's
it's
funny. So
crazy.
I think the cave or the metaphorical cave they were talking about. I feel like it was like an accident. Like someone else is like, "Oh, I can rescue two people instead of one." He's like, "Oh, we'll take
Yeah,
you."
yeah. Oh, look, I guess. Oh, look, they're like caught onto each other like a
Yeah,
barrel of
there's
monkeys.
like you know in the claw machine,
We,
and you grab one
yeah,
thing
yeah,
and you did two.
yeah. Like, oh, we got some extra people.
Yeah, or the vending machine. You ever see the video of the vending
Yeah,
machine where the bottle
yeah.
comes down, hits the other bottle? He's like, I got two drinks for one.
I could see that. Yeah.
That's just
It's
my
kind of
take on
funny.
it, but
No, I mean it. I mean it's more or less. It's just like that. I mean really. But I mean a lot of these guys are fine the way they are. Like they don't need to be signed. Like some of them refuse to be signed because they're doing fine. Like they make good money and they don't. You know what I mean? Like they don't need to be signed.
yeah,
So
the whole signing thing has definitely changed over the past few years.
yeah,
Like,
I have a friend who is like he's an underground artist and he's not like big, but he has like songs with like 50,000, 100,000 plays and stuff like that. And he was telling me that like basically how it works nowadays is like say like it's Epitaph or something like that. They'll like offer you like $50,000 up front and you'll just sign a contract that saying you'll make 2 albums for them and they'll just give you $50,000 basically and then they pay for all your studio time and stuff. That's basically how it works nowadays.
but also people aren't reading their contracts anymore.
That's true. People really should read
I think it
contracts.
wasn't it Made in the Stallion that had a like was in the news today for not reading her contract or whatever.
I'm not. Yeah, I think so. Maybe. I
And
think I
this is,
remember
I mean, this has
something
been
like
going
that.
on for people have never read contracts when the money is
Yeah.
presented.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, okay, you know, if you were to sign a contract like tomorrow, you'd probably be like, oh, let me read it first.
Yeah.
But some people
I
are
would
like,
for sure read
yeah,
it.
they're like, you know, $1 million up front just for signing a piece of paper. That sounds like a deal.
Yeah.
Like, that's it just depends on who the person is. I mean, some
Right.
people, you know, they don't care with the contract; they just need the money.
Right.
And
Well,
why?
and then some people sign when they're really young, dude. Like I don't know if you
Oh,
saw
yeah.
like there was this whole thing that went on very recently. This is not music, but esports.
Yeah.
You know, FaZe Clan. I mean, like, okay, so they were. Do you know Tifu, the streamer?
No.
Okay, well, he's basically just as big, if not at one point bigger than Ninja on Twitch
Oh, really?
for Fortnite, and he was signed to FaZe Clan, and apparently, I mean, obviously, when he signed when he was younger, he's grown now, but when he signed the contract, he was a younger dude, and he didn't read it correctly or whatever, and they were taking like 80% of his tournament winnings.
Wow.
And it was pretty messed up, yeah. But at the same time, like he should have read his contract. But I also understand that he was young and he was just like, "Oh my god, I can be in FaZe Clan, yes!" And you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like that's what every kid that plays video games dreams of is being in FaZe Clan. So it's kind of like they're taking advantage, but I don't know.
And I would say, I mean, knowing you as long as I've known you, I could be wrong here, but if you were offered a contract right now, I don't think you'd be super impressed about it. I could be wrong,
What do
but
you mean?
I feel like if someone said, "Hey, you know, here's a smaller end of a contract," you know, kind of like the one you're talking about where you made 2 albums for us, you might be
Yeah.
like, "I'll think about that." Like, I don't think you'd be like, "Oh man, this contract right now, I need this right now."
No, I don't think so. I'm kind of in like the worst spot I've been in the past few years, so I might think about it a little more, but I don't know. I mean, if they promised, like, if they were like, "Hey, we can take your music and it'll take you like to the next level," like sort of thing, I'd be like, "Sure, I'll give it a shot." But I mean, I would definitely still read the contract and take my time.
Yeah, you don't need. It's not like sign right now. It's like, let me think about this.
I'd
Like,
be like, "Yeah, like email me the contract and I'll read it and I'll get back to you." I
like
wouldn't
you
just,
have a full time job right now.
yeah,
You know, so like even if that doesn't work out, if music doesn't work out for you, you still have something to rely on.
yeah.
And I
right.
mean, I know you're banking that SoundCloud bank. Taylor posted a
Totally.
picture of his Twitter account, and what was it? $1.37?
It was $1.71.
Yeah, $1.71
from Spotify.
From Spotify, that's what it was.
Yeah, my SoundCloud might be a little more because I almost have 20K plays on there, but
But I think you're more, you know, more smarter than some people.
more smarter.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I feel like if there was an opportunity, you'd be like, well, hold on, let me. This might sound a bit too good to be true.
I mean that, and also the fact that I'm 27 years old. I've been around the block a few times. Like,
Yeah,
I've been fucked over enough to know that I need to take a look at everything I do.
and you can turn down a contract that's not the best and wait for a better one if you're rising that well.
Yeah, yeah,
Because when I say
exactly.
you have your own means of income right now, you're not
Yeah,
dependent on making it big.
yeah.
Like
I
some
mean,
people
50
are though.
grand would be nice. I'm not. I mean,
Yeah, but at what cost to
yeah,
you?
exactly. Well, the thing is I will say what's nice about it is those or those record labels, they don't care how fast you do the albums. So like, I could just rush through and just make 2 albums that are just kind of meh, and just like take my bag and go. Like,
True, but at the same time, who's gonna re-sign you?
true.
And
I mean, you're right.
if you make 2 albums and they both really aren't that good,
Right.
who's gonna be like, we need this guy back?
Yeah.
Give us 5 more, please.
True.
Like, I know you're familiar with Brockhampton to some degree. Not you're not the
Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah.
most knowledgeable on them, but you are familiar with them.
Yeah.
They signed to RCA
Okay.
2 years ago.
That's a decent sized record label, right? Like RCA is pretty decent.
Oh, yeah,
like,
that's definitely great for them.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
keep in mind they were all doing it themselves. They have their own team, and when they signed to RCA, I could be wrong, but from what I understand, RCA has only stepped in one time, and that was to remove Amir Van from the group because of the abuse allegations that came.
No,
from towards him.
I think nowadays, especially when they're taking some of these underground people, because some of those artists that I was talking about earlier, like Smart Death and stuff, their music still sounds just the same, like just a little, maybe a little higher quality, but their music is pretty much still the same music that they were making. And from what I understand is, unless, like, generally I think that the only changes they'll typically want to make is just if they're like, okay, if we do it this way, it'll sell more or it'll be more catchy. You know what I mean? That's all they care about. They just want to make money.
Yeah,
So they're not trying to screw up
decisions.
your song or your sound. They just want to take your song and add like a catchiness to it, to where people are like getting stuck singing it and shit like that.
Or market it differently, or
Yeah.
but I do think it's interesting. It's like Brockhampton has, besides losing a crucial member, they're still doing their own. I mean, some people when they talk about albums, they say this album is, it's just this is a record label album. This is
Right.
like it's manufactured.
Right.
But for Brockhampton and a lot of people these days that are being signed, it's not different. It's sound wise, except for quality. Like you said, quality. It's just them making what they want to make, and I think record labels are starting to understand that. Give the freedom to the creators who know what they're good at.
Yeah, true.
Like we mentioned earlier in this podcast, the manufactured pop songs, and how they just like do this, sing this, and we'll put it together for you.
Yep.
Brockhampton still uses their own producers, their own in-house producers. From what I've seen from some like behind the scenes stuff, and from what I've read, I don't think they've really changed anything with their group. They still have their own content. What do you call it? Their own website people. They have their own video people. Their own thumbnail, cover art, album stuff. All the same. All they have now is a bigger budget and a reputable name behind them.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
So
who knows? I mean, who knows, really?
It is interesting that now in this age we have record labels trusting in people now.
Yeah,
back then it wasn't always that way.
I think generally, man, it's because people are one. The internet's a thing, and if you're fucking people over, everybody knows.
Yeah, people just put on Twitter.
People know, dude. Like there's no hiding things now, and I think places have come to realize that. And I think they're just kind of letting people do what they need to, unless they feel like they need to intervene.
I mean, you're familiar with Designer, right? The rapper?
Dying and Designer?
No, Designer.
Oh no, okay, yeah, no, yeah, Designer, yeah.
He put out a tweet a few months ago, and he signed Kanye West's Good Music label. Kanye West is the one that put him on Life of
Okay.
Pablo. Remember
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
In
Yeah.
2016. Now
I remember that, yeah.
that was 2016. Uh, I believe Designer has put out one album, The Life of Designer,
Yeah.
and that came out either last year or the year before that. But I mean, Designer was one of my favorite people, and I most to succeed or most favorite to succeed.
Right.
And I mean, the fact that I don't know when his album came out kind of means kind of speaks for itself.
True.
But he put out a tweet last year and it said, "I don't want to be part of this label anymore. Get me out of this contract."
Right.
And like in my mind, if I was signed to like Kanye West, I'm a huge fan of Kanye West, but like being a part of his label, that would be insane. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, you don't know what they're trying to get him to do, though.
oh, I that's what I'm trying to say. Is that like in my mind, if I was on Kanye West's label, I'd be like, I made it. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. But now you have this actual artist who's like, I don't want to do this anymore. Get me off this. And I don't know. I don't know what his contract looks like, but I don't think he can leave anytime soon. He's only put out one album.
Yeah.
But I mean, even Kid Cudi left good music to form his own.
I forgot Kid Cudi existed.
How dare you? He's actually putting out a new Netflix show.
I just haven't listened to anything by him in a long time.
I gotta put you on then.
I mean, I know of him, and I used to like some of his songs, but it's been a while.
Yeah, he left good music, and I think maybe 2014 to do his own label, and he's been doing that. And I mean, Kanye West is the one that brought him up, also. Right. And he flew him out from Cleveland, and they worked together and stuff like that. So everyone knows that story. But even he left good music, and I'm like, wow, why would anybody leave what I always thought would be a great position?
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, I guess it's just not like you said. Not everything is as it seems. And people are starting to become more aware of that, and they're becoming more like, if you do me wrong, I will expose you. On Twitter. Like, how easy it is to put a tweet out? Even Lil Uzi Vert, we were talking about him earlier before we recorded. He made a whole thing called Free Uzi. Remember that?
Yeah, I do actually.
And I'm pretty sure that was about his record label. I don't know if Atlantic, because he signed to Atlantic. I don't know what really went on, but I think they had on songs he wanted to put out and he couldn't put them out. Right. And that's why Eternal Atake. A lot of Eternal Atake was on SoundCloud. Like, read a bunch of leaks and snippets.
Okay.
And the one we got sounds nothing like it.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a different age we live in, and I mean, I don't know what Kanashi's overall plan is, but I assumed you would want to be signed eventually.
Yeah, I mean, if that was ever a possibility, I'd definitely think about it. I mean, that's a long way off for me, but
I mean, honestly, it's really not though, because what was his name? Savage Gas? You talking about?
Yeah.
He blew up off of TikTok.
I mean, he did, but I mean, he had a song. Like, it's kind of like you just keep making connections. Is kind of how music works, because even to this day, he has a song called "Tunnel of Love" with what's the dude's name? It's another bigger rapper. I can't remember his name. Hold on, let me check.
Is it on SoundCloud?
It's on Spotify. Heroin Father.
I've never heard of that man.
He's got 3 million monthly listeners on Spotify. He's pretty big. So he's got a song with him that has 29 million plays, which is more than Pumpkin Scream.
Yeah.
And it has a Legend of Zelda sample in it.
Really?
So yeah, it's a really big song. It's pretty good. It's a really good song too. I like it a lot. It's called Tunnel of Love. Yeah, you should listen to it. It's good. So I mean, he was doing big moves before that.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly God, he's got 2 million monthly listeners now. Jeez, dude. I think maybe he had like 80,000 when I first started listening to him. You know what I mean?
Now he has
Like
millions.
he was popular enough to like make a living off of music.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's on a whole nother level now, obviously.
I just do think it's interesting that, with the internet being such a crucial part of everyone's life now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's been for a long time, but I mean, literally, even kids have Facebook now. Like,
Right.
there's there's Messenger for kids.
Right.
So like, and I mean, kids that come out these days are, they're a few years old and they're like, I want an iPad. I know how to use it. Just give me the iPad. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, just get it here. I'm good.
I can watch Paw Patrol on YouTube. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, like honestly, Kanashi may not be the biggest person right now, but who knows in a few months or a year what can happen.
Yeah, I mean,
it's still spontaneous.
To be fair, I mean, I've amassed 20,000 plays in like 4 months.
Yeah, and you've done pretty much everything yourself.
Yeah.
You've done a few collabs.
Yep.
You've done yeah, you've done features too.
Yeah, I've done features, collabs. I've got. I mean, there's still a bunch of songs that I featured on that haven't even released yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess some questions I have for you now in relation to that are, what are some of your favorite songs that you've made over these past 4 months as Kanashi?
Well, I can tell you my least favorite one is Dysfunction.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's a decent song, I guess, but I was literally just like copying emo rap, like literally Lil Peep / Juice World / like I was just emulating that.
Now, how popular is that one though?
It's my most popular one.
Yeah.
It's over 3,000 plays, 140 something likes.
Something ironic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Well, that's like a lot of one-hit wonders are. They put
right. Yeah,
they put out
hate
a song, and they're like, "Oh, this song is doing so well, but I hate it."
Yeah.
Like you always see all the Wonderwall memes, right? Like,
yeah. Right.
like,
yeah.
Oasis did Wonderwall, right?
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure Oasis hates Wonderwall by now.
It's. I mean, obviously that's how they made their money, but they're like, oh, I've been doing this song for so many years now. That's all people want is one.
That's all they want is Wonderwall.
All right, folks, one more time, Wonderwall.
Yeah.
I imagine it's kind of like Smash Mouth. Smash Mouth has a few songs, but I mean, let's be honest here. If you see a Smash Mouth, what song do you want to hear?
It is somebody wants to.
Yeah,
that's all everybody knows, dude. And then now they're just correlated with Shrek. But actually, they wear their meme very well. They're always on Twitter talking shit.
Well, what was it? Rockstar, right? Is that what song's called?
Hey now, yeah.
No, All Star.
That was a big one. Yeah.
That song, I don't know if you know this. That song was from Mystery Men, the movie, the Ben Stiller movie.
Right. Yeah.
The music video is Mystery Men.
Yeah.
But the song is known for Shrek.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, I doubt they ever expected that to happen.
No,
who knew if Shrek was going to be a success back then?
Well, I mean, who knew like things were going to be memes?
Yeah, no, Shrek is one of the most meme things I can think of.
Yeah, Shrek is a freaking meme, and then like Shrek and SpongeBob. Those are the two. When I think of memes, it's Shrek and SpongeBob. And, like I don't know if they predicted something or if they just. I don't know. Like it just seems weird. Like they are the most memed things on this planet.
I think it's all about access.
Could be.
Like everyone's seen SpongeBob. A lot of people have seen Shrek. How else do you relate to a population of growing generations than what everyone knows?
That's true. I mean, it makes sense. Like it makes a lot of sense.
I mean, yeah, I don't think they expected Shrek to be a meme 15 years later, or however long it took for Shrek to be. Oh, maybe like 5 years. I don't remember. Shrek came out like 2003, 2004.
Mm-hmm. It's old.
And now, like ever since 2013, it's been like a staple of meme culture.
Right.
Get off the topic though. But your least favorite song is Dysfunction.
Yeah, I
which is
mean for
your
sure.
best song so far. Is
Yeah,
record
it's
play
done the
wise.
best.
What
Yeah.
would
Well,
be
at least on SoundCloud.
yeah, and that's who you make most of your fans on, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I accumulate fans, yeah.
Now, if Dysfunction is your worst song but your best performing, what would be your all-time favorite song you've made, regardless of how well it did?
um Probably my all-time favorite. Let me think. It's probably a tie between Bloodstained Gucci Top and probably Your Eyes.
And those are
I
both.
think they both did decent. Like Bloodstained Gucci Top, it only has like 400 plays, but it's got like 25 likes, and like like the plays go up every day, so people are listening to it.
Now, looking at your
But
stuff right now, Your Eyes has almost 2,000 views, and Dysfunction has over 3,100.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's an interesting difference for your least favorite song compared to your favorite song.
yeah, right.
I mean, I'm not being paid to say this, but Loneliness is my favorite Kanashi song of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I like Loneliness too. Like, the more I listen to it, the more that one grows on me.
I
Just cause,
There's that part. I think that's like almost a minute and a half in. You know what I'm talking about. You
yeah,
know the part I'm talking
yeah,
about.
I do. Yeah, I know.
It's that high pitched vocal part that
Yeah,
I love so much. I tell you to do that all the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
And
It's
yeah, I love that part.
it's taxing, bro. It's hard. It's a hard vocal range for me to hit.
But I think when you hit it, it works well.
It does. Yeah, it does. I mean, I have a high voice naturally. I mean, it's weird. Like when I like rap or like rap sing, kind of like melodic rap, my voice is really deep. But when I sing, I have a very high voice. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe I just have a big vocal range. Maybe I should just go get vocal lessons and
I mean,
take some vocal tests.
hey man, I like what I like. I know what Kanashi part I like. Like I know
Yeah,
what I like
yeah,
about Kanashi.
right.
And if you like work on that and upgrade it, that would be insane.
Yeah, I feel you. I've thought about it. Um,
And obviously, what you're doing, what your people want to hear is something you don't even want to do, based off Dysfunction.
right.
Like you don't even want to, you don't like that song as much, but
Well,
that's what everyone likes.
yeah.
You
I
just
mean,
can't
I don't
win.
know. I think also it had to do with like when I released it and how much traction it got initially, because it got like Dysfunction came out and I immediately like I had like 40 people immediately like go and like it, and like they listened to it a good bit. So like right off the bat, like 30 minutes in, it had like 40 likes. So it got picked up on SoundCloud's like little release radar thing,
Yeah.
kind of thing, and it was like on a playlist for a little while. So I think I just got lucky about when it dropped, kind of thing. You know, like it just got enough traction to get in their, what's it called, their algorithm, I guess.
You know, I think it's funny that uh, looking at your lights here, your
Hmm.
eyes has 156 lights as of right now. Dysfunction
Right.
has
Yeah.
143, and they're
Right.
both
Yeah.
tied in shares.
Right.
So people like your eyes more, at least according
I
to the
guess
button.
I guess
But
technically you could say that. Yeah.
Dysfunction has more plays and more comments.
Yeah. I think Dysfunction. I get messages on Instagram and stuff telling me that, like, I had one guy tell me that Dysfunction helps him a lot. Like, I don't know. I think it means a lot to people. I don't know why. Some people. I mean, not to. I don't know. Like, don't get me. Like, I think Dysfunction's good. Like the beat for that song slaps. Like, I love the beat. Like, the beat goes hard. I like some of my vocal work in it, but like, I don't know. I mean, it's like a good song, I guess, right? Would you agree? Like, it's a good
With
song, but
Dysfunction,
yeah,
I like all your music. Really,
like it's a good song, but something, it's just, it doesn't, when I listen to it, it's like I feel like I wasn't being super genuine. Maybe that's just, maybe it's just only I know what I was thinking when I wrote it, and I think that people just more listen to it, they're like, oh, this song's a bop, or this song goes hard. But honestly, it's like a really big struggle. When I was making it, felt like shit.
Would you say this
I
is
don't
your
know.
Old Town Road?
I sure hope not.
I mean, it sounds like it. I mean, I don't know how Nas feels about Old Town Road, but I mean, if this wasn't you at your, what you really wanted to do,
Right.
and like you mentioned earlier, you don't know if he's just doing it for a meme or not. It's interesting to
Yeah,
think
I don't
about.
know.
But
Like when I made Dysfunction, I was super serious, and like I was like, oh, this is gonna go hard. And I liked it at first, but it's just kind of over time, I'm like, why is this my most played song when like Loneliness is close to it, I guess. But
Loneliness is your second most played song at almost 2,900. So
yeah.
you're almost about 200 views off, or 200 listens off from being number one.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you knew this, it has 141 likes compared to Dysfunction's 143 this time,
Right.
and they're almost
Yeah.
tied in shares.
Right.
So my favorite song, people like it too.
Yeah, they do. You're right.
And also looking at your stuff, I forgot to mention this, but you're now self-producing to some
Yeah,
degree.
that's correct. Yeah, that's correct.
You have that nice little Kanashi production tag.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Thanks. Shout out to Fiverr.
You remember her name?
Caramel Cookies.
Yeah,
Shout out to Caramel Cookies on Fiverr.
definitely did a good
Y'all
job
should
on
check
that
her
one.
out.
Yeah.
She did. She did really good. Like I'm very happy with it.
For the price and for the convenience, that's really good.
Yeah, I mean honestly, if you ever need anything like little, like Fiverr is dope. Like
Like
and
memes
she did it
aside,
in
memes
24
aside,
hours.
Fiverr's very helpful.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, like all memes aside, Fiverr. I immediately thought to go there, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. I think Disconnected seems to be doing good, actually. Now that you mention that, like, I don't think it's gonna be like Dysfunction or Loneliness levels, but
I mean, it only
it's
came out a
already
week
got
ago, so give it
yeah,
time.
it's already got 22 likes and 140 plays in 6 days. That's better than my recent songs have been doing.
Yeah, like Cap Off.
So yeah, I wish Cap On did better.
Cap
I
On,
like
my
Cap
bad.
On a lot. I like Cap On a lot. I don't, but it's kind of like a lot different. Like it's more of just straight R&B.
But I will say, as a friend and a fan,
Hmm.
listener, also,
Right.
you're very consistent in releases.
What do you mean?
You upload fairly often.
Yeah,
Well, looking
I
at
try to
your
just keep
history,
stuff going out.
Disconnected was a week ago. Tap On was 5 days before that.
Hmm.
Photo was 3 days before that. So you're uploading fairly consistently for a musician.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now when I'm trying to grow them, as long as I can make it sort of quality, I need to just try to get it out as much as possible, I guess. I mean, that's the way I look at it. The more stuff I have, the more chances I have for people to hear it.
Yeah, you're definitely
So,
on the right page with that. And
so
hopefully people listen to this podcast, they check out Kanashi on SoundCloud
that'd be dope.
or Spotify. Are you on anything
Yeah,
else besides that?
I'm on every major streaming platform, every single one.
And I'll put the links in the description too, so you can check them out.
So, yeah, I mean, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, all the stuff. I'm basically everywhere, even TikTok. So use my stuff on TikTok.
Oh, you can play through TikTok now.
Yeah, I mean, I think every song that's on Spotify is on TikTok. So if you guys want to make memes with my songs, please do. Please do. Like Nails Black Like on My Heart would be a great meme song.
Handy in My Basement, the #1 meme song on TikTok.
That's a bit morbid, but yeah.
Hey man, I don't make the rules here. Well, we're gonna end this one soon. We talked about mostly everything I want to talk about for this interview. But what are some dream collaborations you have? Just looking for the future.
Oh, dude. I mean, right off the bat, like as of like near future, I want to do collabs with this other underground artist who's like actually pretty well getting well known is Skelly.
Yeah,
I
you've
really
mentioned him
love his
before.
music a lot. Yeah, I love his music so much, and like I'm thinking I'll probably just like pay him for a collab or something, just because I really want to do it, and I think our styles really would vibe well. So I'll probably hit him up in the near future. But as for like distant future, like I would love to work with Shinigami. I would love to work with Nine Tails or Sewer Person. Sorry, Miles, didn't mean to call you Nine Tails. I think he gets mad when people call him that. Honestly.
Well, there goes your chances.
Um, yeah, right. Yeah, he hates me now. He hates me now. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's like immediate, like future, like in the realm of possibility. But like, as far as like a dream somebody to work with, dude, Post Malone, that'd be sick.
I think you're missing a
That would
big
be
one.
sick. Huh?
You're missing a big one.
I mean, you mean like, can it be dead people?
No, usually you talk about gardening a lot.
Yeah, Guardian would be cool.
I feel like
Guardian would be cool.
that's even more feasible than you think.
I don't know. Guardian's pretty big, dude.
Yeah,
Guardian's pretty
I mean
big.
he did the song with Saya.
But see, I don't think
Saya.
Guardian features. I think Guardian only features with people he's friends with.
Gotta become his
I'm
friend.
pretty sure. Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure because like, if I remember correctly, in some of the lyrics to his music, he talks about not featuring with people. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe he'll be
Like,
impressed by Kanashi.
maybe I don't know. Maybe if I make like, I don't know. I'm gonna keep trying to produce my own stuff, and hopefully people will notice like, oh, this guy's producing his music and doing pretty fire stuff on it. So
Yeah, you produced one song so far, right?
yeah, I mean, I have a few beats that I've produced, like in my logs of stuff that I need to like do stuff with,
And you're
but
mostly self-taught too.
all self-taught
Yeah, like,
basically.
so for someone to be doing this, you run your own thing right now. You're your own
Yeah,
boss.
right.
I mean, you're making that Spotify bank with that almost $2, but you're doing what you want to do on your own time schedule,
Yeah.
and you're not being forced in anything you don't want to do.
Yep. I didn't do anything music related at all this weekend. I just played Diablo 3 all weekend.
And see, you can do that. You have the freedom to do that.
Yeah, except I should be looking for an apartment, but that's besides the point. uh, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool. I've got a lot of features and stuff coming out, and we'll see how those do. Hopefully, like I did a feature for a guy who gets like 5,000 monthly listeners on Spotify and stuff. So
And it's not out yet.
no, it's gonna be on his album, I believe, which is cool. That's big ups to him for putting me on his album. That'll be cool.
Yeah. So, do you think we'll see a Kanashi album this year?
Possibly. Yeah, I
Or
wouldn't say
another
album.
EP? Maybe another EP?
Yeah, probably like a 5 or 6 song EP,
Just,
something like that.
I mean, 4 months in, you've made over 20 songs.
Yeah, yeah,
That's. I mean, I've been doing YouTube since October, and I have maybe around 30, 40 videos now,
right.
and that's only when I have time to do it. You're doing. I mean, you're really chasing this passion.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy doing it. I don't really do it to become famous or anything. I just like making music.
Well, like you
And
said earlier, it's just you listen to music to express yourself.
it's
But
my outlet, dude.
but now, if you are making your own music, you can express yourself in a whole different way.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I love the creative freedom of making my own beats and stuff. It's really like it makes it a lot easier too to like sing and like match my vocals up with the song and mix and master and stuff because like when you have like the actual music file that you created like in FL Studio or whatever plugin you use, it's so much easier to like mix and master everything, so it makes it all better.
And that's all coming from your head. It's not you're not tied to
Yeah,
anyone else's
right.
sound.
Yep, that's right.
So that'll conclude this interview with Kanashi. Your SoundCloud is Kanashi Sadface. That's how to search
Um,
you, right?
I'm pretty sure it is. Let me check.
But I'll put the link in the
Yes,
description anyways.
SoundCloud.com/Kanashi Sadface. Yeah.
Check him out. We have a few minutes here to discuss one more small topic. I want to talk about Lil Uzi Vert and Eternal Atake. Because we have not listened to his newest album yet. We have not listened
the album on top of the album.
We have not listened to Uzi versus the World 2. I mean, I've heard it, but not enough to talk about it. I don't want to give a false opinion on it.
Right.
I gotta listen to it. I gotta listen to both these projects again. But overall, I would say we weren't too impressed, actually.
Nope, I wasn't. Not as somebody who's actually a pretty big Uzi Vert fan. Like, I don't know.
I mean, my theory was that we're too old at this point. It's like...
Maybe, but I mean, you could say that like a lot of the music I listen to is like kind of angsty music. Like, I don't know. Maybe.
But
that could be it.
Before we recorded this, we had a whole conversation about this. I should have recorded it. But we discussed the singles for Eternal Take, or leading up to Eternal Take.
The singles were bops.
Yeah, like I mean, San Juan Paradise isn't on the album, but I guess you consider close enough to be a single.
Sort of, yeah.
Futsal Shuffle 2020, that's great. That way,
Futsal Shuffle is great. That Way is amazing. That's like the coolest sample this year so far, I think.
Yeah. New Paddock came out in 2018. I like that song.
Oh wow! Did you look how much? Sorry, this is so off topic, but I mean it's kind of on topic. Uzi Vert's song, the EXO tour.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see how many plays that has?
Yeah, over 1 billion.
What in the heck?
It's an anthem.
I mean, it's really good. I just didn't. That's crazy, dude. And
he also made part 2 of that, which is probably really the only song I really like on the new album, on Eternal Take.
Yeah, that one's not bad. It's not bad.
But overall, we weren't really too happy with it. But I don't know what he's doing right now in terms of making music, in terms of the sound he's going for. But honestly, some of the ratings are interesting of what people think about it.
What did Melon think?
I'm a fan of the Needle Drop, and that's who Melon is, if you don't know. And I think he gave it a 4 or 5.
Really? Out of 10?
Yeah. And Pitchfork, I like Pitchfork, just for some extra opinions. I believe they gave it an 8.4. I'll check it real fast, but yeah, they voted as their one of their best new albums.
Interesting.
Just recheck that. Yeah, 8.4. I mean, I'm gonna listen to it. I might do a video on it or something on it on both albums, because I mean, I'm a fan of Uzi Vert. I have been for many years. Saw him in concert.
Right.
Which, by the way, was a very interesting concert experience. It was at It was at Troletro Festival.
Okay.
In Maryland, and he kind of just walked on stage with a backpack on and a hat, and he was like, and everyone like, just like there's supposed to be like assigned areas for people to be at. People flooded the place. I saw dudes surfing on top of dudes just to get up front. It was insane. Like,
jeez.
There was no respect for anyone there. And it was Kid Cudi was the headliner. And of course, I have to say Kid Cudi. That's one of my probably best day of my life so far. And someone was kicked off for rushing the stage before he came out. But no one rushed the stage during the Uzi Vert, even though it was a massive swarm of people.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was insane how many people. And this is 20. Was it 2017 or 2016? Hold on. I just need to verify this. Just kind of matters.
Right.
This was. Here it is. Where is it? I don't think there's a date on here. But it was a huge concert. Larry June was there. Cousin Sid was there. I think it was 2016.
Hmm.
Because I was in college, community college at the time.
Right.
And, yeah, it was August 27th. I don't remember the year, but Ray Shembard was there. Goldlink.
Oh damn.
This is before Goldlink was even
That's a,
that big.
that's a cool lineup, actually.
Yeah, Jay I don't know was there, and I love I don't know, and I didn't.
Right.
He was performing. He wasn't really that big right then. He was performing at a different area of the pavilion. I had no
Yeah.
idea he was even there. I was so upset. But I think he was performing during Lil Uzi Vert, around that same time as Lil Uzi Vert. So I was like, I don't know if anyone has even saw him. Apparently, oh, it was 2016. It was 2016. I just saw the date. And yeah, people, it was insane. Like that's that's really one of the only concerts I've been. I've seen Bob Dylan in concert when I was a kid, but yeah, my dad wanted to go.
I mean, I can imagine that was a big one. That's cool.
I remember it faintly, but I think I had fun. I was probably like
Right.
8 or 10 years old, but this is like my first big event, and one of the only event I've really been to.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, to see my idol, one of my idols perform, I had tears on my face, man.
Yeah, I feel you.
It was beautiful.
I feel you, man.
But I don't know. I just don't think this album is hitting the right way.
I don't think it lived up to the hype, but I mean, looking at the plays and stuff, I mean, apparently it has.
I mean, the play should be hyped too, but
yeah, I mean, yeah.
I was honestly, I think the average rating is like a 6 or 7. If you
Right.
take all the averages, just Needle Drop gave it a 4 or 5. Pitchfork gave it almost a 9.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, maybe the songs will grow on me more.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe I'll try listening to it some more.
I mean, the thing with Uzi Vert is that I've never been a huge fan of all of his songs. Like, even Love Is Rage 2, Perfect Love Tape, Uzi
I mean,
Vert versus
I
the World,
have.
Love Is Rage. Like, there have been songs that I was just like, okay. Then there's a song like, this is like one of the best songs. Then there's a song like, okay.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, I've always liked his songs, but I've never like had them bumping on repeat except for EXO Tour. Like that's. But I mean, that's just that song is amazing. So I mean,
That's definitely an anthem of the 2010s. That song is, I don't think it will ever get old.
no, yeah, it's just a great song.
But he's always had stuff that I was like, it's either I love it or it's alright.
Right.
This is one where I'm like, there's only a few stuff I like about this.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I'm definitely gonna listen to it. You're probably gonna listen to it again, right? Both albums.
Yeah, I'll probably play it. I'll probably listen to them both some more. But
I mean, you have to listen to Love Is Rage. Well, Uzi versus the World 2. You still have to listen to that one too.
Yeah.
But
I don't even know where to start. There's so many songs. Like.
I mean, what is it, like 40 songs total?
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, he just didn't want anybody bumping anything except him for a few days. That's basically what happened.
It's 32 songs.
That's massive, dude. I mean, I guess like as long as it took to get it out, and as much as people are waiting for it, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's his first album since 2017.
Yeah.
And Love Is Rage 2 is good. And that's he's made some singles and been on some features, but this is his first big thing in a while.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, Episode 12 came out in 2017, Taylor. And
That's
it's still
true,
relevant today. And it's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, some songs don't age that well after. Like, Party Rock Anthem, I think that has over 1 billion views on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was like 8 years ago, but
I mean, I never liked that song, so.
I had the shirt.
I never liked LMFAO.
They had that shirt in Walmart when I was a kid. I'll take that shirt.
Yeah, I couldn't stand them. I don't know.
And I will say, I mean, a little off topic, but I think the internet has something to do with that, with tour life. Because I
Probably.
mean, look at Twitter and that song. Twitter loves that song.
All my friends are dead.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, I'm pretty sure Vine helped that song too.
I'm, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that part of the song was like a meme for people.
The Minecraft door.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, for sure, like a lot of that's like TikTok came out around that time, right?
TikTok came out
Or
around.
maybe like 2018.
TikTok died in 2018, I thought.
Did it? I don't know. I thought everybody was still using TikTok right now.
Oh, TikTok. I thought you said Vine. No, Vine died in like 2018.
Yeah,
TikTok.
Vine.
Sorry,
Yeah.
TikTok was, I think, a year or two ago. TikTok is supposed to be the spiritual successor to Vine, apparently.
Well, I thought there was some. I thought they were making like a Vine too.
I think they were, and everyone's like, we already have TikTok.
I liked Vine way better than TikTok.
Well, who knows? Maybe Kanashi will have a hit song on TikTok, and he'll love it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure.
I don't know if you want to be a
Hashtag-
meme song, but
I will, dude.
Plays are
Honestly,
plays.
I would gladly be a meme song. I'm fine with it, especially if I get real fans out of it.
yeah. But almost over an hour actually. I didn't realize that. But
Yeah, we've been going in.
I think it was a good talk. We discussed a lot of topics.
Yeah, no, I think it was great.
Had a nice interview with Mr. Kanashi.
True.
Is there anything you want to say besides your promotions? For anyone who's listening, anyone who hasn't listened to you, or anyone who does listen to you, anything you want to say?
I mean, I just really appreciate if anybody listens to anything. I'm not out here begging for plays or anything. I just like to make music, and if I make somebody feel better, or make something that somebody really enjoys listening to, that's all I care about.
And I will say, as not as a friend, because that would be too easy. As a listener who listens to
Right.
Kanashi's stuff, Taylor's stuff, I like it. It's like I said, it's not bound to a genre yet.
Right.
He's just now branching out to self-producing. So if you want to hear, I mean, Taylor has stuff that's other people produce, and now stuff he's produced. So there's different sounds coming from him now.
Yeah.
So I can't really say two songs are the same by you.
Yeah, I mean, except for In a Hurry and Hanging in My... Those two are the only two that are similar. Like, they're almost identical, really, in my opinion, but they're both just catchy punk pop hooks.
I like him.
I think those came out really well. Thank you. I think those came out well.
That's your EP, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely stream his EP.
Yeah. Yeah, stream the fuck it EP.
It's on SoundCloud.
Yep, on SoundCloud, or if you wanna help me make money, Spotify, they pay better.
But like you said, at the end of the day, you just want to give someone something to listen to help out.
Yep. Hopefully my song can help. Any of my songs can help somebody out at some point.
Yeah.
So, and I've had people messaging me telling me that my songs have helped them. So
That's great. I mean, that's honestly one of the coolest things about making things, in my opinion, is someone else appreciates it, maybe even more than you do.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to me. Like, I've had somebody tell me that Dysfunction helped them through a rough time, and I was like, I don't know how, because that song's really depressing. But if it helped you, okay, I'm glad.
Yeah, and that's what drives you.
Yeah.
But thank you, Taylor, for your almost hour and a half contribution here. I know you have to go to bed soon.
Yeah.
But
good old work.
yeah. Somehow the coronavirus hasn't canceled that for you yet.
It needs to.
It might, and then maybe we'll see more Taylor in the podcast.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Definitely subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel. Follow Kanashi on SoundCloud and Spotify. Helps us out both.
Yeah.
Comment if you have questions for Taylor. Comment if you listen thus far. Congratulations.
Yeah, right.
But you listen to two friends talk for about an hour and a half. Good for you. I appreciate it. But
Yeah, thanks, guys.
definitely comment anything you want to discuss. You want us to discuss. If you have any questions for Taylor, you can always, your DMs are open, right?
Yeah, my DMs are open on anything. If anybody wants to message me ever, like, just feel free.
Yeah, Taylor's very nice. He's a very nice person, and he always replies moderately fast, I would say.
Yeah,
Unless
yeah.
he's
I mean,
sleeping.
yeah, unless I'm sleeping or like sad or something.
But yeah, message us, subscribe to us, like our stuff,
Yeah,
and
sub to the appreciation enthusiasts.
thank you.
More tier lists coming soon, boys.
You know, that's Eminem one's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah, have a nice day and stay healthy.
Yeah, avoid the COVID.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.